We have a new NXT champion. Keith Lee has been coronated in the main event of NXT Great American Bash Night 2. That match against Adam Cole was really damn good. Genuinely fantastic. Before I get into anything else though, we're 2 subs off 600, so let's just make that happen. If you're not subbed to the channel, hit the sub button. But anyway, this match tonight, the main event, Keith Lee, Adam Cole, winner take all for the North American Championship and NXT Championship. So much fun. Genuinely, it felt like a Takeover main event, which, I mean, the whole show itself, the Great American Bash Night 2 show, it was a bit weird because you have this Takeover main event match that everyone was so excited for, and the rest of the show was just, what's there even to say? The rest of the show was just like a dud. But this main event though, oh my god. Keith Lee, Adam Cole, the 403-day reign of Adam Cole is finally over. It should have been over so many times before, genuinely speaking. That reign should have been ended by either Matt Riddle, maybe a Finn Balor, Velveteen Dream, maybe, I don't know. It's a bit messy with the allegations, but finally, Keith Lee, big man Keith, bask in his glory, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is your new champion. Genuinely the happiest I've been watching anything in wrestling in so long. Alright, Keith Lee, him having this moment is so well deserved. He's so legit, so credible. The match itself and the moment itself, granted, if it wasn't spoiled by that absolute idiot moron, Indus Share, that dude from the tag team who posted the picture and leaked it like a week ago, if it wasn't spoiled by that dude, then it would have been so much more awesome. But nevertheless, the moment itself was still sick. Seeing Keith Lee, close the show with the confetti, his music's playing, he's holding the 2 titles, as you saw earlier in the video. Such an awesome visual. That made me so happy to see, because for all the garbage wrestling that if you watch current wrestling, we soldier through, to see a moment like that is just so awesome. And as much as people will say, oh, well, it's just NXT counter-programming AEW, they should have saved it for TakeOver. Yeah, they should have saved it for TakeOver, I agree, but honestly, it's content for me, it's something fun to watch, it's entertaining, it's an awesome moment, I don't give a damn. I just love that Keith Lee is now the NXT champion and the NXT North American champion, which is absurd. Keith Lee, 2 belts. Now, as for the match itself, one thing I want to mention quickly, as you see on screen, first off, this tail of the tape confused me. Adam Cole is not 6 foot tall. Adam Cole is like 5'8.5", 5'9". So saying he's 6 foot is offensive to people who are 6 foot tall. It just is. But that is really irrelevant. Keith Lee, just by that tail of the tape, 130 pounds heavier. Keith Lee is a man. Adam Cole is a boy. And we really saw that tonight in this main event match. Really, the thing I loved about the main event, well, one of the main things, how Adam Cole, early in the match and during the match, there was the trash talk. Adam Cole's like, you can't win the big one. You've never won the big one. Typical heel trash talk. Adam Cole doing what a heel does. And then when I heard Adam Cole doing that, I'm like, oh, Keith Lee's going to win this match. They're not going to have Adam Cole say, you can't win the big one, and then Keith Lee's just going to lose. So it made it kind of predictable, as well as the spoiler, but I'm just so happy Keith Lee won. I was almost certain that they would have filmed an alternate ending, and we would have seen Adam Cole retain to, one-up the people who thought they knew the result. I thought they were going to have Adam Cole retain. I was so scared they would. But in the end, Big Keith, after a really good match, the match itself, I'll get into more of a review of it now, not move by move or anything, because you guys couldn't really care less about that, but some of the best parts of the match, in my opinion, literally, we have Adam Cole, standing near the barricade at ringside, near where the plexiglass is. Keith Lee is, on the other side of ringside. He stares down the barrel of the camera, and, he's like, oh, I did this to Johnny Gargano, Johnny this, and then he proceeds to run around ringside, and then attempt to pounce Adam Cole through the ringside plexiglass, barricade, but Cole steps out of the way. Keith Lee goes shoulder first through the glass, so that was really good. We had Keith Lee hitting what was it? He hit one move, and then Adam Cole, stay alive in the match because he got his finger on the rope, which was really good. High emotion in this match. People were smashing on the plexiglass. The crowd was actually pretty decent for this. Commentary, outside of Tom Phillips plugging meaningless USA Network shows during the match, the commentary was pretty good. Mauro Ranallo, Beth Phoenix, they did a great job. And yeah, in the end, we have Keith Lee as the new NXT champion, and he's obviously the North American champion still, so that's awesome. Where they go from here, you'd have to assume they go Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross in the next TakeOver. You'd have to assume, which, is that NXT blowing their load already? Yes, it's too much too soon, but At the same time, I don't really care. It's pro wrestling in 2020. It's dead anyway. You might as well just do all the great stuff now. I just couldn't really care less. So that was the main event. That was Keith Lee versus Adam Cole. Awesome stuff. The rest of the show, now that you guys who are here listening 5 minutes, 15 seconds in, now pretty much all of you guys are my general audience. You're not just going to hit dislike because I hate the show. Basically, the rest of NXT outside of the main event was god-awful. It was... What are they doing? This is NXT Great American Bash Night 2. It's supposed to be like a pay-per-view type show. And you're producing Tony Nese versus Bronson Reed, Killian Dane attacking Robert Stone, Breezango and Drake Maverick versus Escobar and Joe Quinn Wild and these cruiserweights in this meaningless match. Like, what am I watching? What are you doing in NXT? Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Johnny Gargano? Why? What caused this? Because Johnny Gargano had a meaningless run-in with him last week on NXT, and now this week we're getting Johnny the Simp Gargano in a 15-minute match versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Why? Like, I'm a fan of Isaiah Swerve Scott, but I'm just going to call it like I see it. What's his character? What is the Swerve? It's the same thing with Dolph Ziggler back a few years ago. Like, what's the show-off? It's just, what does that mean? It's not a character. He has no character. So it's literally just a guy who, Isaiah Swerve Scott, I'm just going to point this out. Isaiah Swerve Scott is like 5 inches taller, or 3 inches taller. He's significantly taller than Johnny. He's more muscular. I'm just like, literally watching the match, it was literally watching two 185-pound guys doing acrobatics. That was the match for 15 minutes. Just, your work rate, your kip-ups, your super kicks. Like, if you hate wrestling, that match wasn't one for you. So Johnny just wins, which is kind of pointless. So now they're going to do Johnny versus Finn Balor or something. Okay, I'm sure they're going to main event at NXT with Gargano versus Balor, I'm sure. So, I mean, that was that. We opened the show, Mia Yim versus Candice LeRae. It was a good match. It wasn't a bad match. It was like a straight fight, so they pretty much ended the match with this spot from the top rope where LeRae did like a swinging neckbreaker type move onto some chairs and whatnot. So LeRae beats Yim, as well as Gargano beating Scott. So the power couple with Candice LeRae and her simp husband, they got the win. Who really cares? The rest of the show, I mean, honestly, who gives a damn? I mean, Mercedes Martinez beat, I think it was Aaliyah, or was it Santana Garrett? I wasn't even watching. Do you care? Do I care? No, you really don't. We got the 6-man tag match, so Drake Maverick lost to Escobar or whatever. Like, it's just redundant. So, basically, that's NXT for July 8th, 2020. I think it's July 8th, yeah. July 8th, 2020. Great American Bash, Night 2. Keith Lee is the NXT North American Champion, and now the NXT Champion. Finally, bask in his glory. What a moment for Big Keith. So awesome. I love it. So, yeah, like, comment, sub. You guys know the drill. See ya.